we did the OzGREEN Youth Leading the World thing, and I've really enjoyed it. It's been a great time spending in a group with people that care about the environment just as much as I do.
First of all, I'd like to welcome you all to the Community Forum for the Youth Leading the World.
To begin with, we would like to acknowledge the Gumbaynggirr people, who are the traditional custodians of the land on which we are gathered today.
We would just like to take a bit of time to thank the following organisations for helping us to make the last 3 days possible. First of all, OzGREEN for organising the whole thing, Bellingen Solar, Bellingen Shire Council, Youth Directions and the Bellingen Courier Sun. To start with, we're just going to have Harrison and Bliss come up and do a little bit of an introduction and run through of what we've done for the last 3 days.
What is Youth Leading the World? Youth Leading the World is young people from all over the world getting together to discuss environmental issues in order to create a cleaner, happier and healthier environment for future generations.
It goes for 3 days simultaneously all over the world. It is taking place in over 50 sites around the world, as you can see on the map. We were able to share our ideas with a group from Canada this morning. This particular meeting has been attended by students representing our schools from the local region.
Now we have some people going to talk about some of the concerns that we had at the start of this program. Would you please make them feel welcome?
In Youth Leading the World, we all decided on some concerns about the environment, and we all voted on our top 5 concerns. Some of these concerns are global warming,
Climate change, melting permafrost, carbon emissions.
lack of awareness, education, connection, extinction of fauna and flora,
Mining, CSG and mineral and oils.
all of our action plans came from these 5 top concerns.
oh, and we also had food distribution.
Now we have the focus of what the 3 days were about and sort of some of the things that we came up with.
At the moment, our environment is reaching its critical point. If we don't do anything, then the Earth won't be able to handle it, and global warming will destroy the planet.
The consequences of not acting at the moment are the waste. The whole Earth is filling up with waste. Right in the middle of the Pacific, there's a huge garbage pile the size of Australia. Fuel. The transportation alone of fuel has caused so much marine death that it's almost impossible to count. The destruction that humans are causing upon humans everywhere in the world at each time is destroying infrastructure and all marine environments as well as ecological sites. And possibly one of the largest ones is the pollution, which humans are causing every day just through using everything in their daily lives. The footprint. People involved in this project who were here for the last 3 days had an average footprint that if everyone lived this lifestyle, we would need 3 planets. I'd now like to ask like you to look at what your footprint was and how many planets you would have taken up, just to reflect on the sort of lifestyle that you have. Now, I'd just like to have a little survey, a show of hands. Who got a score of 5 planets? Good. Who got 4? Couple. 3? 2? 1. Well done. Now we have our visions, which will be spoken by Steph and Milan.
Together over the last 3 days, we've come up with a vision statement of what we want to work towards, what we want to achieve. So I'm just going to read it out. We are environmentally educated and aware people living in harmony with the current and future generations.
In our world, all energy comes from renewable sources, and our fresh food is grown locally and organically. Our people walk, ride and use public transport to and from school and work. And all the air, water and land is free of pollution.
Our communities support each other, working together to maintain the environment we respect and live in, leading to global sustainability.
Now we have a section on the change by Effie and Ava.
On change, we brainstormed ideas on things we want to change in our world and community today. So some of those things include our power sources and how you can change that in your family would be to use green power or sign up for green power and use solar power, especially in hot water. In the community, you can use like wind turbines or hydropower, and another group's idea would be to use solar streetlights. Yeah, and for water, to save water, we did in the family, you could decrease your shower time, have way shorter showers. You can reuse your grey water on the garden. You can make sure all taps are turned off and aren't leaking. You can have composting toilets, use rainwater tanks, and plant native plants in your garden, which attract native wildlife and do save water as well. In the community, more native plants need less water and attract wildlife, and some even stop erosion in creeks, so they should be planted around a bit more often. Community gardens are also a good idea, because not as much water is needed for different plants, and there should also be more events to promote clean routes. And for transport, you could ride to school on a bike or work, and you could walk, and if more people caught buses, then we wouldn't be using as much fuel. Everyone could also go on local holidays, which would mean less transport and fuel. And for the community, there should be more footpaths and public bike tracks and bike racks. Solar cars, buses and trains should also be made more often, and trains should also lead to out-of-town places as well, and there should be more train stations. Yeah, for flora and fauna, you can help make it so there's more flora and fauna in Australia by keeping your dog on a lead so it doesn't hurt any of the native wildlife. Lock your cat in at night so it doesn't go hunting. Keep introduced pets away from native fauna, so any other pets you have. Plant native flora in yard to attract other native animals. And get rid of poisonous introduced plants. In the community, you should also help to protect national parks and reserves and plant native plants in towns and parks. We should also get rid of feral or introduced animals, and we could have more native animals. And if everyone changed to these changes, then our community and world would be more sustainable today.
All these different things that we've talked about over the past 3 days have all led up to our action plans, which are plans that we could realistically see ourselves doing. To start with, we have a presentation from St Mary's in Bowraville.
Okay, Okay, so at our school, there's been plastic bottles that are being put into the same bin, as well as all the other rubbish.
Plastic bottles need to be put into a recycling bin.
Waste needs to be put in a green bin, or compost, or a worm farm, so it can be turned into soil and that becomes good use for gardening.
We need to talk to the principal about supplying bins for types of rubbish.
And recycling is a good way to help the planet.
If people don't recycle it means rubbish is being dumped into a huge waste centre, causing pollution to our earth.
If we could at least recycle, it can make part of our earth cleaner for everyone. Thanks.
Next, we have a presentation on packaged products.
Our campaign is called No Frills. We're focusing on the amount of packaging used for different products.
We have decided to focus on the local schools to see if we can convince them to reduce the amount of packaging used in lunchboxes. For instance, using fabric sandwich bags instead of plastic or aluminium.
The first people we would talk to would be the principal and the canteen managers and the school captains.
The first thing we will do is send home notes to all the parents on and explaining how action plans and how they can help.
Okay, this is an example of an eco-friendly lunchbox. Inside is a reusable metal container with other containers in it, which is open up. And it's got sort of sections in it. So this is really good instead of using like a plastic lunchbox, which is sort of really bad for the environment. So these are better. Yeah.
Our ultimate goal is to have all students bringing waste-free lunch containers to school and for our canteens to be using products with minimal packaging. Thank you.
Now we have a presentation about creek cleaning from St Mary's Bellingen.
We're all from St Mary's Bellingen, and we wanted to organise a day next year sometime that we can all get together in Year 5, 6 and clean the creek. People to see. Council, Principal, Student Council at St Mary's and Landcare. At St Mary's, sometime next year, we're planning to have a day that Year 5 and 6 will be able to clean up the creeks at Connell Park, and we might also have a mufti day to raise money to plant more native animals, native plants around the school and at Connell Park.
The things we're going to help are the ducks, the fish, the planet, and the people in Bellingen.
This is just the start of our plan to help clean up the creeks of Bellingen. Flora and fauna. Cleaning the creek will provide clean waterways for ducks, fish and other small animals. When the creek is clean, we would plant more native plants around the banks to encourage native fauna. We could also plant in the murder to stop erosion. We are looking for supporters to help with this action plan in 2013. So if you're willing to help, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
Now we have a plan for green power by Josh.
For our action plan, me and my group decided that we would try and convince as many people in Bellingen and educate them on green energy or green power. Now installing solar panels and maybe even getting a wind turbine can be a bit of a hassle. Not everyone really wants to do it. But green power is just sort of a step in the way. Green power is an accreditation program for renewable energy run by the Australian government. Now what they do is they offset your household's electricity consumption with renewable energy, which is then added to Australia's electricity grids. In effect, purchasing green power enables consumers to buy accredited renewable energy from the electricity grid. The electricity grid gives the renewable energy right of way. This means that when there's lots of renewable energy available, we'll get as much as possible. Why should you guys use renewable energy? Well, household electricity consumption accounts for up to 50% of your household's greenhouse gas emissions. Green energy utilises electricity produced from renewable sources in a smart way to reduce our emissions and therefore reducing our carbon footprint. This is the average household carbon footprint in a pie chart. How do you guys get green power? Now, there's a couple of steps to doing it. The first step is to contact your electricity supplier and just ask them about it, inquire. Some electricity suppliers do supply it, some don't. You'll have to see. So if you can get it, you need to choose the percentage of green power you would like to buy, and buy it. It's not that expensive, so it's a pretty common misconception. And you just sign up, and then it's off your mind. Okay, now there are a lot bigger benefits from this. By choosing green power, what happens is it drives the demand for renewable energy up in Australia, in turn generating a greater supply of renewable energy, which then goes on in a big circle, and eventually all of Australia will be running off renewable energy.
Now I will be doing a presentation on the solar street lights. How the project will work. The aim of the project really is to get all of the street lights in Bellingen running off solar power instead of using the regular electricity which is generated by coal burning. We're going to try and, what my idea was, is to get solar, instead of replacing all the solar panels on every street, just replace specific ones, maybe at each end of the street, and then have bit larger solar panels on them rather than lots of small ones. The benefits that this will bring, it's going to lower the carbon footprint of the council and also the cost to the council as well, and you'll be saving the environment and money at the same time. What can you guys do? First of all, we need sponsors for the project because we were thinking of getting a grant from the government, but we'll see how that goes. We need sponsors for the project as well. You can also contact me and try and help organise the project with the council, or if you don't feel like doing much, you can just get behind us and support us through the community. So,
how we can get involved. In order for these plans to be possible, we need the support of the community. Firstly, we need people to spread the word. We strongly encourage involvement in these plans, which we can then make our environment a better place.
So as I said in my presentation, the ways you can help become involved is either sign up as a sponsor, become directly part of the organisation, or you can just come in, go around and sign the petitions that we'll have up at the Energy Fair next year and also the markets, hopefully sometime soon. And the support and encouragement of everybody here and even possibly the entire town will be needed to get these projects up and running. So thank you for listening. So if you've got any questions you want to ask either myself or any of the other groups, now would be the time to do so. If anyone has any questions. Yep.
The group from St Mary's that was interested in the creek, how do we get in touch with you? Are you an environment group at St Mary's or?
We're planning to open an environment group at the school so that we can keep in touch with around Bella and Lancaster and stuff.
Okay, so maybe next year or something?
Yeah, it's next year. But Yeah, at the end of term 1 we're hoping to do it. And we're going to probably get in touch with the land care people and help them do it.
Land care, so. What a plan.
Maybe if everyone could introduce themselves, so we know.
I'm Charlie from Bellingen Land Care, also from the Gallagher Alliance, but that's that creek 15 years ago. The area where you want to work, so that's the area in the football stand. So, anyway.
There's not that kind of secret.
You'll pass that around. So, I'll leave my number here for you too. That's right, yeah.
Yeah, and we've seen some work done. Yeah, we want to clean.
Fantastic. Yes, we can do that.
And in terms of contacting any of the groups at OzGREEN, we'll obviously be keeping in touch with them, so you can always come through us as well. Can't track them down. Not that big a place, however, I reckon we can find.
I'm Anthony Holland. I'd just like to know if anybody from the council here today would like to respond to the idea about the solar street lights.
Solar street lights.
Solar street lights, what do you think?
It's a great idea, and it's the next move from where council is at the moment. It's going to just replace all of the street lights and the shine with low energy lights. So that's already substantially reduced emissions. And so develop the proposal.
So if any of you want to just talk to some of the people that you saw up here individually, we're probably around here for a while, except about we've been like down here. So if you want to just wander around and talk to people, you can do whatever you want. Thanks for listening.
I'm going to do a bit that wasn't part of the script, because I think we should give a really big hand to these guys. You know, that ran really smoothly. That was actually really the first run through. This was the rehearsal in effect, where we're so kind of pushing up to get it done. And you know, it's a great. Over the 3 days, or over the 2 days leading up to today, it's a really good process. We start with just looking at exactly where we are. We get, you know, what is the situation on the planet at this moment, both from their experience, so what they know, and then what science now is telling us where things are going. And then we move from that into looking at what they're concerned about. So you saw their list of concerns that they brought out. From those concerns and from that we take a step back and go, okay, if that was all addressed, what would it be like in the future? What is the ideal future you want? And what a great vision they developed for that. And then out of that vision, they work on action plans at 2 levels, and they didn't actually talk about the personal level. They have done the footprints, they've worked out what they're going to do in their own houses. They're probably going to go and harass some parents at some stage to say, we need to be doing some more stuff. And then they work on the action plans they're going to do as groups. And you know, we sit around and at one stage just thinking, oh, where are we going? How's it all going to go? And then miraculously out of their minds and their hearts and wherever, it all comes together and we see the sort of action plans they've come up with today, which I think there's some great ideas amongst. All of this is their work. We just take them through the process, they do the ideas. And I think it's great and a testament to, you know, what not only how, you know, the abilities that they've got, but their hearts and where they're able to put their enthusiasm and focus on that. So I think we should give them all a And I guess it's my turn to do a little plug as well. This program, as they said at the start, there was a number of organisations around here that got into support this year in the program. To keep this going, we need to keep bringing it forward and we need to keep attracting that. If you are in a situation where you would like to try and support this to see that it happens again next year. Next year we're trying, I believe the goal is something silly like 500 sites. We may do it, who knows, but we're trying to really sort of push that out and get it out because, you know, it happens in most places where people volunteer to train as facilitators. We run a facilitator training program. They go back, people who said, I want this to happen in my area, they go back to their area and recruit people, get the old schools and other young people coming in and then run the program themselves. So it actually happens at you know, at a very much based on volunteer level. OzGREEN is a tax deductible charity, so if you are around and you want to do that, look us up on the website, ozgreen.org, and you can go through that. That's the plug. Thanks. Thanks for coming, everyone. Oh, let's get your footprint forms, yeah?
Josh Wilson-Douglas, I'm in Year 9 and I just completed OzGREEN Youth Leading the World in Bellingen. I had a great time, it was so enjoyable, meeting loads of new people, finding out their opinions, and I just got so much from it, like all these action plans that will continue on for probably a large part of my life. And I've got loads of other friends that are doing it and we're all working together and had a great time.
Well, I'm Milan and I'm Steph and we're both in Year 8. I learned, I was really inspired by some of the success stories. Even though they took 2 years to be passed, they really, you know, they inspired a huge group of people.